Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Young and the Restless. Meltdowns rock Genoa City clears daring move and Matt's arrival. The week of May 4 to 15 on The Young and the Restless is not going down without a fight, arrest, secrets exploding, new lies, and one very familiar nightmare walking back into Genoa City cause it to crash in. Kane Ashby is handcuffed and dragged off at an inopportune time. Phyllis Summers is starting down her own legal disaster. Nick Newman's drug struggle is about to become impossible to ignore, and Matt Clark is on his way back to remind everybody that some monsters do not stay buried. And Claire Newman's plans to make a bold play for Holden Novak, which could set off another wave of meltdowns across the canvas. The show is pretty obviously setting up a week where just about every fix just creates a bigger problem for itself. The biggest shock of the week might be Kane's surprise arrest, which comes at the worst possible time for Malcolm Winter's life-saving procedure. In the preview video, Lily Winters sees Kane being taken away in handcuffs and panics because Kane had promised Amanda Sinclair that she would post bail and that he would still make it to Newark on time. The problem is evident. Kane was going to be the donor match, and if he cannot get himself out of there first enough, Malcolm's procedure could be delayed or even derailed altogether. That makes a legal issue a matter of life and death, and is the kind of dramatic soap opera twist that leaves everyone in the room angry at the people who made the arrest to begin with. The preview makes it clear that it is Lily who feels the pressure most strongly. She is furious that Ken is being drawn into legal trouble just when he is needed by Malcolm. She has already said they explode at Newman's, and the spoilers suggest she might even come after Victor himself, saying it should be Phyllis who pays, not Ken. And that's a powerful emotional pivot because it shows that Lily isn't seeing the arrest as a business issue. She considers it the family actively sabotaging a life-saving medical scheme. When a soap cops a donor match, it's more than just justice. It is about whether someone is willing to risk a life to win a war. Meanwhile, Phyllis also cannot escape the legal hit. Phyllis and Kane are both said to be arrested for the fake emails that Victor cooked up in the new weekly spoilers, and Christine is back in full control of things also. Friday's preview shows Christine cornering Phyllis and leaving her no room to run. That means Phyllis is on the verge of a legal meltdown just as Victor's plan begins to pay off, and Michael Baldwin may be the only one trying to stop her from spiraling completely out of control. It's brutal irony. Phyllis has been trying to win for so long, and now the evidence Victor built around her is beginning to become the thing that might send her to prison. Michael's part in all this is one of the week's most emotionally tangled strands. The preview says he will stand by Phyllis after her arrest and also continue to argue with Lauren Fenmore Baldwin about his loyalty to Victor and if he will actually turn on Phyllis when she needs him the most. That makes Michael the guy caught between two fires. He knows Victor wants loyalty. He can see that Lauren is worried about the price of the loyalty, and he knows that Phyllis might be walking into a legal trap that she cannot get out of by herself. That's why the spoilers call his hurt turn. He is trying to do the right thing in a room where every choice has collateral damage. The next big emotional punch comes when Sharon starts digging into the past of Sienna Buckle. Spoiler line for Tuesday, May 5th. Sharon puts Sienna in the hot seat to get the truth about her past. This isn't a casual chat. It's the show's way of saying Sharon still isn't buying the story Sienna has been spinning about Matt Clark's death, and she wants answer before she lets this woman get any closer to Noah again. Of course, Sienna is already tied to the Vegas fallout and the Matt fake out chaos, so Sharon's questions are less curiosity and more survival instinct. If Sienna is hiding one piece of the truth, she knows she might be hiding it all. This is important as Matt Clark will not be staying off the board. The spoiler preview hints that Matt Clark will return to Genoa City in week of May 7, so the nightmare isn't over, no matter how much everyone wishes it were. The preview pitch even discusses Matt dragging himself out of the desert after Sienna headbutted him and gave him a concussion, finding a dinner and starting to ask for direction with a hotel keycard in his hand. That detail is important because it tells us Matt is not dead, not done, and certainly not harmless. If anything, he is disoriented enough to be more dangerous because now he is forced to regroup before he can continue plotting against the Newmans. When Matt comes back to Genoa City, the feeling in town goes from suspicion to outright fear. The spoilers indicate he will make his presence known and scare people in the process, which means the illusion of safety is about to be shattered for anyone who thought the Vegas fireball ended the threat. Sienna is particularly likely to freak out when she sees him in town, and the preview hints she may pass out or, at the very least, have a meltdown. That reaction is perfectly understandable, for she is the one person who may know how much he can still throw into disarray with very little notice. Matt's return is not a plot device. It's the reopening of a wound that everyone thought was starting to heal. Meanwhile, Claire is playing her own dangerous emotional game. Weekly spoilers tease that she does something daring for Holden Novak. Day Ahead coverage teases that she makes a bold move to stand by Holden when he needs support, which could mean she is moving against Victor's latest scam, especially if Victor's family war is now impacting the Malcolm situation and making the entire town unstable. Claire has been aging toward Holden, and this week seems like the moment she decides to stop lurking on the periphery and actually picks him. In soft terms, that never just a romantic decision, it's a declaration of her readiness to risk the anger of powerful people to protect the man she cares about. The bold move is precisely the kind of thing that can set off more meltdowns. If she takes Holden's side against Victor, Claire could be dragging herself into the same crossfire that has Lily, Kane, Phyllis, and Michael already spiraling. Spoilers suggest Claire isn't content to watch the chaos from a safe distance anymore. She might even walk right into the middle of it, and that means her choices are going to be more important than ever. This is where independence turns into confrontation for a character who has been building toward independence. Nick's storyline is the one that could link the most pieces together. A preview suggests that Nick's drug addiction will be addressed. Phyllis may learn about his struggles, and eventually Nick will reveal a secret to Victoria. Nick tells Victoria a secret in Friday, May 8th Day Ahead article. But the weekly preview suggests it might be him finally admitting his drug problems and wanting to get better. That's a big step because it means Nick's no longer just covering up the problem. He is being forced to confront it in front of people who care about him and people who can no longer pretend to ignore the signs. Victoria's reaction is important because it shows that the Newman family is about to be rocked from more than one angle. On the other hand, Victor continues to launch legal assaults. On the other, Nick is finally talking about his addiction. The spoilers say Nick's relapse could become even likelier once Matt is back in town, which makes that confession all the more urgent. This is not a pretty recovery curve, a weak attempt to keep itself upright as an old enemy returns and a family crisis continues to multiply. If Nick is truthful with Victoria, it could instantly change the emotional dynamic of the Newman family. Chelsea's story is another example of the show dropping small truths to reveal bigger truths. In the preview, Chelsea corners Adam and wants real answers about Risa Thompson, but Adam might tell Chelsea he only has eyes for her, even if he had to play along with Risa through all the Vegas plotting. And that leaves Adam in the uncomfortable position of having to explain away a connection that may not be as simple as he would like. Chelsea doesn't sound like she's in the mood for a spin, and that means Adam may have to come up with a much more honest explanation than he planned. Kale is also ready to start another round of strategy games because the spoilers say that he will try to get Patty to help him plot against Victor and Nikki's marriage. That's the kind of wild, messy move that makes Genoa City feel like a pressure cooker. Patty's already been established as a useful wild card, and Kale wants to use her to turn Victor's cowards on him. Meanwhile, Jack is trying to salvage his marriage to Diane. So, the Abbott family is splitting his focus between romance, revenge, and long term damage control. Lily may be forced to make her own deal with Victor as the week goes on. The preview shows she might make an offer and demand she wants a new prize for all her fake kidnapping trouble. Maybe she will want Kane's charges dropped and Victor will keep Chancellor instead of giving it over like promised. That's a smart, practical move and just the sort of thing Lily would pull if she wants to shield Malcolm's treatment and get Kane out of legal mess at the same time. But it also shows how closely the donor crisis is tied to the corporate fight. Nobody is going to come out of this clean, everybody bargaining with somebody. The preview says the pressure only gets worse by the time we get to the week of May 11 to 15. Matt's in Genoa City, and that may keep everyone on their toes. Sienna may have a panic attack when she sees him. Nick's addiction may be more difficult to break than anyone thought, and the specter of relapse will haunt everything. Clearly, the next 2 weeks are designed to make every character feel the cost of bad timing. Kane's arrest threatens Malcolm's procedure, Phyllis' legal trouble threatened her freedom, but Claire's bold move threatens to drag her further into Holden's orbit. And Matt's homecoming could make a creepy week into a full-blown war. The dramatic takeaway in Genoa City is about to explode from too many different directions all at once. Kane is taken away before he can help Malcolm. Phyllis is cornered. Michael is torn apart by loyalty. Claire's dangerous road taken by Holden. Matt is back to freak everyone out. At last, Nick begins to tell the truth about his addiction. Adam Chelsea wants to know Kale uses Patty as a weapon. Lily plays hardball with Victor, and the whole town is about to find out once again that one crisis never stays isolated for long on the young and the restless. It just opens the door to 5 more. Chaos erupts across the young and the restless as Genoa City faces one of its most explosive weeks yet. From shocking arrests to emotional breakdowns, nothing is going according to plan. Kane Ashby is suddenly thrown in handcuffs just as a life-saving moment hangs in the balance while Phyllis Summers finds herself cornered with no way out. As Victor Newman tightens his grip, the legal fallout threatens to destroy multiple lives at once. But the real nightmare, Matt Clark is alive and heading back to Genoa City. Just when everyone thought the danger was over, Matt's chilling return promises fear, revenge, and total disruption. And for Sienna Buckle, the truth is about to hit harder than ever. Meanwhile, Claire Newman takes a bold and risky stand for Holden Novak, a move that could spark even more chaos and pull her straight into the Newman war zone. As secrets unravel, Nick Newman struggles with a growing addiction, Michael Baldwin is torn between loyalty and justice, and Lily Winters prepares to make a dangerous deal that could change everything. Is Matt's return the beginning of a new reign of terror? Will Claire's bold move backfire? And how many lives will Victor's plan destroy before the truth comes out? One thing is certain. This isn't just drama, it's a full-scale meltdown.